Hi Sagittarius, this is going to be your Sun, Moon, and Rising for November 2025. Please keep in mind that the messages are general and they will not resonate with everybody. So please check back to your Moon and Rising time as it's posted. Also, my website is back up and running. I am doing readings. If you want to purchase a reading from me, simply go to the website address here and pick out the package that you want, complete the booking form, and I will get back in touch with you. My turnaround time is 24 to 72 hours to produce your reading. So, that out of the way, I have with me today the Radiant White deck, the La Vida Sibila for clarification should we need, and we're going to wrap the reading up with the Psychic Oracle Tarot, because I think people need some kind of healing because of all the stuff that's going on. So let me turn the camera on and we'll get started. I've already done some meditation and shuffling on your sign and glyphs. I would just like to put another shovel and rifle on the deck. My arm is not working too well this morning. It was cold. I think it was 37 last night. Oh, wow. Well, the first card is a 10 of Swords reversed. Now, I don't read reverse cards because I follow the Golden Dawn system of tarot. But I will tell you what the card means, reverse, okay? Let's put it like this. Nine cards down. First card, reverse, 10 of Swords. Here we go. I've got the deck. Six of Wands. This card has been coming out in almost every single spread. I don't know what it means. I mean, for pretty much every zodiac sign I've read for, the Six of Wands has come out. The Eight of Wands. Next row, the Lovers. The King of Cups. And yes, I said this is a Sagittarius reading, but you can be in masculine energy and you can be in a water sign energy. That means that you're either feeling something very deeply or you care too much. Let's put it that way, because sometimes he represents like a lawyer or a counselor, a psychotherapist. The Knight of Swords. A bunch of sharp edges at the top up here. Next, last row, the Magician. The Page of Wands. And the Moon card. I mean, the High Priestess. She's a 2. What's over the entire reading? The Seven of Wands. A lot of pointy things happening here in this spread. A lot of sharp edges. So what do I have? I have 3 wands, 2 swords, and 3 major arcana cards, which are your spiritual lessons. Swords represent beliefs, thoughts, perceptions, communication, ideas. Wands represent your focus, passion, determination, and desire. What does it take for you to get up every day and do what you do? Cups represent the emotional quotient, how you feel about a person, thing, or situation. And of course, you know, the major arcana cards are your spiritual lessons. I do have 2 sixes here. The 6 of wands and the Lover's card, which is a 6. So all 6s underneath all 6s relate to this card some kind of way. I have 3 core cards. So that tells me that there may be 3 people involved, or that delays will happen before future successes can be realized. But I never interpret the pages and knights as people. I interpret them as messages. They always come as messages for me. The pages are a lower level message, and the knights are messages that help move a situation along. And this one is coming from the future instead of past. Directionality is very important. I have 2 horses, but they're going in opposite directions. Let me look at this reverse Ten of Swords, because I know some of the interpretations by heart, but since I don't read reverse cards, the reverse Ten of Swords, the key words are advantage, profit, success, favor, power, and authority. Reverse can imply that gains and benefits will be short-term and will lack permanence. The Ten of Swords suggests that a crisis point or boiling point has not been reached, and there is still some drama or issues to deal with before things come to a head. Once it takes place, the real root or cause of the problem will be revealed, and this will allow for resolution. Implies, because it's a 10, that a cycle of events is changing, and you are now emerging from a difficult, uncomfortable, or negative situation. It may also be implying that someone may be suffering from a deep personal hurt. They are in need of some emotional and spiritual counseling. That's what I say about him. A 10, the Ten of Swords reverse, tells that events are coming about which will usher in fresh energies, bring in new and positive vibrations. It foretells of a steady improvement on business and the financial front. You are to think clearly and make wise decisions to enable you to reap the benefits from the times to come. In regard to strangers or people, the reverse Ten of Swords issues a warning or caution that you may not feel right about. It advises you not to participate in gossip or backstabbing, or there will be ramifications. Listen to your intuition and act accordingly. Reverse tells of an advantage or a gain in personal power and profit, but you are to be aware that this state will be temporary. You will need to re-foster your courage in order to re-rise again. It tells of bright blessings to come in business or health. The reverse Ten of Swords is a strong message not to take anything for granted or to rely on others at this time. It is a warning for you to take extra caution and remain vigilant in regards to your well-being, personal belongings, home security, as mishaps are awry at this time. Remain careful, sensible, and cautious, and think everything through before taking any action. It also may be implying that a karmic situation or lesson has taken place. This lesson has now been learned thoroughly, and positive influences and energies should come into your life. But I think you have some questions. I think it centers around this King of Cups. I think maybe there were some problems before. Here with the 10 upright. But for some reason, when you turn the 10 of Swords upside down, I think somebody backstabbed you or ambushed you or tricked you and hurt deeply. It's like they dealt you the death blow, because you only need one sword, well-placed sword, to kill somebody, not 10. So it was overkill, whatever it was. They were perhaps talking about you. They had thoughts about you. They said something about you. That's communication. They communicated something bad to you. But now, when they're upside down, the swords are falling out. Okay? The swords fall out. And so we have this 6 of Wands, which represents harmony, balance, and love. And it's saying that you have overcome whatever this 10 of Swords was. That's why it's reversed now. Before it was a 6, it was a 5. So that tells me that there was some kind of conflict. Like somebody doing something and playing head games with you. Like they're doing one thing and saying another. Fighting, trying to get their point across. Arguments. And then suddenly it says that this is a leadership position, the 6 of Wands. It may be that you have received some kind of recognition. You received some kind of award, like in your degree or finishing up a class or something like that. It says you might get your name in the paper. You will receive some recognition that you have earned. It was hard earned. And then it jumps up to the 8 of Wands, which are 2 extra wands. The 8 of Wands is basically the energy of Mars and Mercury and Sagittarius. It's also known as the arrows of love. But usually it deals with travel, usually connected to business. It says that hang on, because things are going to go really fast. But we don't know where the arrows are originating from or where they're going to land. Right? We just see them flying through the air. Usually it talks about taking a plane and traveling somewhere in connection with business. Next row, I didn't tell you. The cards are read past, present, future. Past, present, future with the interplay of the cards. And then on the second row, we have the Lovers. Now, most people think this card talks about a couple, and sometimes it does. If it's a couple, this is usually a soulmate connection. It doesn't mean that it's romantic, because not all soulmate connections are romantic. A soulmate connection can be one of the most difficult connections you will have ever in your life. It either you got along well or it was a mismatch of energies. Okay? But usually what the Lovers card represents is a choice. It's a choice. And whatever choice you make, you have to realize that it's going to be very important, because it will have far-reaching consequences in your life. Okay? But then we jump over to the Knight of Swords. And this is a Mercury card as well. So we could be talking about the Mercury retrograde that's coming up. I don't know when. Let me look in my ephemeris right here, because I think it comes up in November. On November 20th. Something like that. Yes. November 9th. He retrogrades, Mercury retrogrades back into Scorpio, water sign. Back into Scorpio at 6 degrees. It turns retrograde at 6 degrees Sagittarius, and he retrogrades all the way back into Scorpio on the 9th of November. That's just a few days away. So I'm looking at this like it's some kind of message arrives right around the time that breaks up everything. It changes everything, because nights are usually followed by, when they enter into the reading, it's usually followed by some kind of movement. And so this horse and wands are going to the future, but this says no, something is going to come that's going to change the whole situation. So see how his horse has his legs straight out, he's galloping in, he's saying hold up, he has his sword raised, and the clouds are diagonal in the background, which indicates some kind of confusion thoughts. Okay, then we come to the Magician, and the Magician is a 1, so he's focuses on me or I, the ego, the self. And the card says that he has every tool that he needs to create exactly the life he wants. Nothing in this world was thought of or created without first somebody thinking about the idea. So this could be about new ideas. It could be about making new connections, getting a new job. He has the cup, the pentacle, the wand, and the sword. I think it's kind of hard to see. There you go. And he has a laminoscape over his head. And his hand is pointing up, and his finger is pointing down. And that's as above, so below. So this tells me you should watch what you think, because if you think negative thoughts, you can bring it into existence. Sometimes a magician can turn out to be somebody who pretends he knows what he's talking about, a con man. And then we have the Page of Wands, which is another message, but a lower level message related to these wands right here. Your focus, passion, desire, determination. It can also be a message of love, but it talks about new exciting adventures coming ahead. Trips, things that you can learn, new things. I kind of think it relates to this magician here, but it's just a message. And finally, we end the reading with the High Priestess. She is a 2, and 2s talk about options, dualities, choices, decisions, being at a crossroads, somebody actively opposing you, or you being opposed within yourself about something. But the card says, trust whatever your intuition is saying to you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything. You just need to recognize what your intuition is telling you. And make no mistake, even not doing anything and not saying anything is a choice. You don't necessarily have to tell everybody everything you think or what you feel or what you know. That's a choice. So sometimes the card can say, keep it to yourself. Now, I'm going to look at, I think the only card I can look at is this Knight of Swords, because he's charging in to the situation so fast. We get maybe some positive things, but the situation hasn't reached a head yet. And I think this is a message that's going to make you decide what to believe. This card. Because it's like an Ace of Swords. That's a 10. And the Knight is wielding one sword, which is like the Ace. So this tells me that the situation will change. You can bet on it. So I'm going to look at the Knight of Swords. And suddenly a change in direction. Going this way and then this way. And he is coming in so fast. So I think this is within, by the first week of September. Maybe earlier, maybe later. By a few days. Morte. This is the end. It's a cosmic scissors. It's the end. Somebody has done something or said something. They have crossed a Rubicon and things are never going to go back again. But out of this card, there's a new beginning. But it's the cosmic scissors. It's the end. Whatever this is about, it's the end. Belvedere. You are waiting for someone or something, some news to come and let you know you're waiting on a message or a package or some person to show up, which should tell you what to do. But if you notice, her telescope is focused on, it's turned around the wrong way. So she actually needs to search within herself about why she's so anxious or scared and what this message may mean to her or the person when they arrive. And finally, the Letterato. This is just shows a man waiting for someone to come talk to him. He's waiting to either have something explained to him. He's very smart, but he can be quite cruel if he needs to be. Over here, I didn't tell you about the 7. The 7 says, before you step out and do another thing, you have to think about it. Think about what you're doing. It says that you're in a better position than you realize. Because here you have your sword, your wand, and you're beating back a lot of things. But he's standing on a hill. And he's wearing 2 boots. I kind of get the feeling that this comes up rather suddenly. And so you just pull on shoes, any kind of shoes, and get to beating back whatever is cropping up. It says that he is of 2 minds. But the card says you are in a better position than you realize. If you stop and think about what you're doing, you could positively succeed in whatever. I'm not saying when, but you can succeed at whatever you want to do or trying to do. Let's pull a oracle card. Let me look and see if I can look at the Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, because I can't look at the three core cards. All I can look at is the page, the Ten of Swords, the Six of Wands, and the Eight of Wands as they relate to these three major arcana cards. So I'm going to go back to the Ten of Swords. There's no meanings next to any of these major arcana cards. I go to the Wands. With the High Priestess, indicates that a time is coming where you may be intrigued and interested in the metaphysical and spiritual realm. Next to the High Priestess, the Six of Wands tells that it is important to seek out more knowledge of the metaphysical philosophy. Eight of Wands. I know what that means to you, but it's obviously telling you something. Eight of Wands with the Lovers is an indication that genuine love and affection is around you. It tells of the future being discussed and promises being made. It implies that there is genuine warmth, companionship, and honest conversations. You are asked to appreciate it and make the most of it. There are promises to be made and kept. I don't know. These three cards say not. They say not. I don't know if it's going to be you or him that breaks the news, but I think some news is coming. I think he has other plans. Let me put it that way. It looks like you made up and you want to start the relationship again, but he doesn't. Maybe he's returning from overseas, a flight. When he comes back from the trip, Destiny, a 10. A major arcana card. Good luck and fortune are now in your favor. A cycle of change, success, and growth is imminent. Life ebbs and flows in its natural journey, and Destiny card signifies that good karma has come full circle. Lady Luck is pointing directly at you. What you sowed, you are about to reap. Open up your heart and accept and receive what you've earned. Opportunities, whether expected or unexpected, are knocking on your door. This is a time to allow your problems to be replaced by solutions. Believe in destiny as you learn to let go of old issues. You're being given the chance to understand the lessons and gain wisdom from the past, enabling you to move steadily forward in a positive direction. Holding on to a strong belief that you deserve to be happy and prosperous and have abundance in all areas of your life is the key. This confident mindset will show you what the impossible can indeed become, that it can indeed become the possible. With this card, take advantage of all opportunities. Act now. Take responsibility for your actions. Enjoy the fact that destiny is presently in your favor. Don't always rely on luck, however, for the wheel most definitely will turn again. So I'm going to say that this situation is up in the air because this is the wheel of fortune, and wheel can turn either way, like it said in the book. Okay, that's what I have for you, Sagittarius, for November 2025, and good luck. I left out the most important thing of your. Remember, we had the Eight of Wands on the future roll. It was the Eight of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and then we had the High Priestess. I didn't tell you because I closed the camera too fast. Sometimes the High Priestess can be a woman that you didn't know anything about. Okay? I just want to let you know that. It's a woman that you never knew anything about. But if that's true, I think she will be making an appearance. So trust what your intuition is telling you. Okay, bye.